What's going on, YouTube? NorthStarCEDH, and we're back for another deck tech video. Today we're going to go talk about the Wandering Minstrel. It's a list that I've been working on. This is my personal list. I've started with the land package for Wandering Minstrel. I tried 5-color good stuff. I've tried a mix of 5-color good stuff and lands, and now we're on the Lurrus companion version of the Wandering Minstrel. There's some other individuals that are on the Lurrus game companion game plan, and this is my take on it. So I just wanted to go over my list, some of the card choices in here that we're doing, and start from there. So the biggest thing, obviously, because Lurrus as the companion, that means no bear, no Nissa, no fun stuff like that. So we're going to be more on a 5-color good stuff. Yes, we still have some land package type cards. Aftermath Analyst, Badgermole Cub with Springheart and Tuco. Also, Hedron Crab, Sylvan Safekeeper. The reason these are still in here, we're going to start with first Aftermath Analyst, ETBs, mill 3 cards, and then sacrifice, return all land cards from your graveyard to battlefield tapped. It's a great value piece. We can still do Springheart and Tuco stuff with Aftermath Analyst, as we can nil our library, bring everything back, and we have multiple sack outlets. Not just Sylvan Safekeeper. We'll go through those later. The other thing too is Badgermole Cub. If we bestow Springheart and Tuco onto Badgermole Cub, we're going to Earthbend 1 a Surveil land. We have a ton of Surveil lands in here, and that way we are able to continue to make copies of Badgermole Cub, tap them for mana, and then we can surveil our entire library into our graveyard. We do have other options to go mana positive on this. It's not really necessary, but it's one of those things. If it happens, it happens. Like Hedron Crab milling our library, we can still do fun stuff from there. Tinderwall, explosive starts help us ramp. Yes, we have Fairy Mastermind. It is more value card draw piece. We don't have Endurance, so we can't do the Endurance Fairy Mastermind, infinite mana, make everyone draw. So that means we have Wan Chi Tong as a value piece as well, so a card draw with Esper Sentinel. Librarian specifically evades Bowmaster, which we're all aware of this. That's why the price tag of this thing keeps going up, and everyone wants them. This thing is being played in every single format. Lothal, it's just good value. Getting the treasure tokens. Thassa, because we're on 5-color good stuff. Voices our protection spell. We're not running Grand Abolisher because it's double white. So the other line that we could be running is Cloud and Skull Clamp, and that one works with Badgermole Cub to draw out our entire library. We're looking to surveil it away because we're doing stuff with the graveyard. Some cards that we're not, we don't, from the land package that we normally see are Scapeshift, Splendid Reclamation. We're not on those. We still have Malevolent Rumble though, because we put a perma card from our from the cards that we revealed, and we get a colorless Eldrazi, so we can sacrifice it to ramp a little bit there. Sylvan Scrying, so we can find our critical lands that we need. Crop Rotation. Intuition Lines. The rest of the Thorical package. Final Fortune. LED Brain Freeze. Mishra's Bauble, because it's free, and since we don't have Emery, we can't do Emery Bauble. We have to do Lurrus Bauble. So worst case scenario, we're drawing an extra card by getting Bauble back and sacrificing to look at someone's top of the library. Otherwise, bunch of free spells. Splendid or Squander Resources, and our Sack Outlet, Breach Lines, Fish, Exploration's really good. Alright, with the lands, either you're thinking, this is way too many lands, what is he doing? He is nuts. Or this clearly isn't enough lands. We need 40 plus lands. We need 44 plus lands. I brought it down to 36. Like, that's the lowest that I can do. Some of the stuff that we have in here, cedh who shelters all. If we can get this, if we're in a very blue heavy pod, we can go get cedh who shelters all with our Urza Saga, with our Sylvan Scrying. So we can push a protected Adnaz or a protected Intuition. Cephalid Coliseum is just a value piece in here as we are looking to fill our graveyard. It's very easy for us to have Threshold. So a worst case scenario, we're using it to draw 3, discard 3. As I told you, we have a ton of Surveil lands. Helps us ramp, bounce lands. The 2 non-green fetch lands, Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta. So these two are the 2 fetch lands that are non-green. That's why we have Jetmir's Garden. The biggest thing in here that we care about is the red and the white pip here. Yes, we could technically put in the Jeskai Triome, which is this one, but I don't think we need another land in here. We have Shifting Woodlands in here. Mystic Sanctuary is kind of super cool tech for Minstrel, as normally when an ATB is tapped, unless you control 3 or more other islands. As long as we have a commander, we really don't care, because it's going to come into play untapped if Minstrel's already out. Now, the cool part with Mystic Sanctuary is if it enters the battlefield untapped, you may put a target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. That means we have a second chance at Adnaz, Intuition. Worst case scenario, we get Born Upon, we get Counter Spells, Fluster Storm, because it's only, or where'd it go? It's instant or sorcery. So if we mill over a Calling Ritual and we need that, we can get back one of our tutors. Like, the value that we can see from this card is worth it. One of 32 cards, if my math is right, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 32 cards that we can bring back. We can bring back a Snap, we can bring back Final Fortune, Reign of Filth. Crop Rot. As you saw, we're not playing Cradle. We don't need it. I would argue that, yes, we can play it because we have Aftermath Analyst and Fairy Mastermind to help sink into the Fairy Mastermind. Each player draws a card. Yeah, we can do it. Plus Badgermole Cup. We can make green mana. Wait a second. Alright, here's the thing. We need, with Badgermole Cub, Springheart and Antuku, we need 2. So we need 3. So we need Badgermole Cub, Minstrel, Cradle. Badgermole comes in. We Earthbend 1, the Cradle. Cradle taps for 3 now. We are now going mana positive. And if we have a sack outlet that generates us mana, so like a Reign of Filth, like our Squandered Resources. Zern Orb just gains us life, so we're going to gain a bunch of life, so we're not going to die from anything crazy like that. But Squandered Resources, when we sacrifice a land, add 1 mana to the mana pool of any type that the sacrificed land could produce. So really, even if we're on 2, we're going positive on this. If we just have the Wandering Minstrel, the Badgermole Cub, Bestowed, that's 2. But because Cradle becomes a creature, taps an extra 1, that's 3. And then we have one of those sack outlets that produce another one, that's 4. We can then go down and continue this infinite mana. We'll go positive on mana, making infinite Badgermole Cubs go positive on mana. We can then surveil. We can then do it on a surveil land. Surveil until we hit Fairy Mastermind. No, we need Fairy Mastermind. We need a way to bring it back. or like have a card draw, something so that we can have card draw. So like we would need Fairy Mastermind. What other way can we do this? We have Summoner's Pact to get a green creature. So like we can get our cub. We can do Imperial Seal Detutor. Veil's Protection. We're missing a card and I can't think of it right now. But minus the point. Cradle's coming back because we have Badgermole Cub, Springheart, and Tuco. So Cradle's coming back. Alright. That means sorry, but Crumbling Vestige is coming out. So Vestige is coming out. Triome can come. Staying considering. We go down to our lands. Cradle goes back in. Move to main. Alright. So these are just some of the cards that were at one point in the list, whether they were just goldfishing or trying them out. All these cards were in the list at one point at a time. So that's why there's so many cards in here, because we were trying different things and what felt good. I'm not a fan of Bizarre Baghdad. I understand it's very good. I'm not a fan of the line. But all right. We have collapse this. No. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. So now the other thing too, now that we have Mystic Sanctuary, the other thing that to note, it is an island, so therefore I can go search it from one of the fetch lands that is able to search for an island, which I have a lot of those. Badgermole Cub is going to get silly. And the fact that the foil price is 62 and then the normal price is 54, which is frustrating because everyone's trying to get their hands on a Badgermole Cub. Same thing with Wan Chi Tong. So, yeah, that's about all I have for right now. So, like I said in the beginning, this was a deck tech of Minstrel of my current list of like what I'm trying to do with it and do a bunch of different testing. We do have some tournaments that I'm able to go to here coming up in December. So I am going to be on Minstrel. I'm going to be constantly testing Minstrel to figure out what works, what doesn't work. It's been a lot of fun. I enjoy it. If you like this kind of video, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. And we can do more of these in the future if people want. But thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.